Just TV film review and preview. I'm Andrew Wright. This week, Now You See Me, Now You Don't was released on home video. The film is the third film in the Now You See Me franchise and takes place 10 years after the events of the previous film, which was released in 2016. The film stars Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, Dave Franco, Ilsa Fisher, Lizzie Kaplan and Morgan Freeman reprising their roles, alongside new cast members Justice Smith, Dominic Sessa, Ariana Greenblatt and Rosamund Pike. The film revolves around the Horsemen being reunited after 10 years to help three young magicians take down an arms trafficker. So I happen to be quite the fan of the films. I really liked the second one. I think I like the first one, but I prefer the second one. So I was quite excited for this film. I thought it definitely delivered on the fun and spectacle that was needed for the film to succeed. But the script was a bit clunky and felt too much like a passing the baton movie. And it's also the weakest out of the three films, so it's not bad, it's just meh. I gave the film, I thought I would be very generous, 3.5 stars out of 5. It is more akin to a 3-star film. So it is right in my Letterboxd list. It is around the area of like Ballerina in my list, which, I thought Ballerina was a ton of fun, just, a bit clunky. So it's pretty much like Ballerina. Now You See Me, Now You Don't is on home video now. This week, Edgar Wright's new adaptation of Stephen King's The Running Man was released on home video. The film stars Glenn Powell as Ben Richards, a working-class family man who finds himself on a game show where the contestants are hunted and killed to appease the masses, where also nothing is as it seems. Footage can be manipulated to distort the truth. The film also stars Josh Brolin, Coleman Domingo and Lee Pace, alongside appearances from William H. Macy, Daniel Ezra, Michael Cera and Amelia Jones. This film has been paired a lot with fellow Stephen King adaptation The Long Walk, which also came out last year, because both feature an authoritarian United States, whereas Long Walk is more militarized. The Running Man's more corporations running America, and what critics and viewers feel that it parallels, both these films parallel the current geopolitical landscape, so that's what people are really locked in on these two films. But so The Running Man, I'd not seen the original 87 version with Arnold Schwarzenegger, so I'd seen Edgar Wright films like Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Baby Driver. I really liked those 3 films. Those are the only 3 films of his I've seen. You're not really going to watch Scott Pilgrim or Last Night in Soho. I need to watch World's End, but I digress. So yeah, went into Running Man. I thought Powell gives a great performance and Wright does a great job at directing. And the film manages to really well balance being powerful social commentary as well as being, frankly, a bit of fun. So I gave the film 4.5 stars out of 5. The Running Man is on home video now. This weekend, the newest Pixar film, Hoppers, arrives in cinemas. The film stars Piper Curda, Bobby Moynihan, John Hamm, Kathy Nanjiani, and Dave Franco. The plot follows a girl named Mabel who is an animal lover who gets her mind transferred into a lifelike robotic beaver so she can communicate with animals and even help to save their habitat from destruction. the film is currently on track to be the best reviewed Pixar film in a decade, I believe, since Coco. Yeah, well, I know it's projected to be the best Pixar box office since for an original story for Pixar since Coco, because they've had, Toy Story 4 was a sequel, not an original. But it is also hopeful that the film can reverse Pixar's negative box office fortunes for original stories. Like, I really liked Soul, but Soul was released straight to Disney Plus, didn't really get that much time in the cinema. I really loved Elemental, but it was the best film of 2023, but it didn't do too well in the cinemas. I really liked Elio from last year, but it was a box office bomb, so... and, well, there was Inside Out in 2024, but that was a sequel, and it was alright. It was weaker than the first one, everyone thought. This weekend, so Hoppers is in cinemas now. Also releasing in cinemas this weekend is The Bride. It's the newest directorial effort from actor turned director Maggie Gyllenhaal, sister of leading man Jake Gyllenhaal. So The Bride draws inspiration from the 1935 film Bride of Frankenstein, which was, sort of loosely based on the 1818 Mary Shelley novel Frankenstein. And I believe the film The Bride opens with a prologue about how, either something got to do with either like the story of Frankenstein's been done to death, so it's like, but it's all about, or the novel's not really about Frankenstein, it's about the bride. I've not read the novel, and I've only seen the Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein, so, and I'm not planning on watching The Bride, so, yeah. So, The Bride takes place in 1930s Chicago, where Frankenstein's monster asks a scientist to create a companion for him, but when they give life to a murdered woman known as the Bride, it sparks romance, police interest, and social change. The film stars Jessie Buckley as the Bride and Christian Bale as Frankenstein's monster, alongside Peter Sarsgaard, Annette Bening, Penelope Cruz, and director Gyllenhaal's brother, Jake Gyllenhaal. It's their first time professionally working together, I believe. So the film has received mixed reviews from critics, and I know Maggie Gyllenhaal said in an interview that she had to tone down some of the violence after negative test screenings, so... but from what I read of the BBFC classification, it still sounds pretty violent. So you'll have to see to believe. The Bride is in cinemas now. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week, where we'll have a packed show. I'll be doing a lot of reviews. I'll be talking about Zootropolis 2, which I'll need to... because I'll be talking about Zootropolis 2 coming out on Blu-ray on Monday. So I also need to review Zootropolis 1 on Letterboxd, so I'll be sort of doing those two films. And then also be reviewing Wicked for Good, which I'm not really looking forward to. But, OCD. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which I'm really looking forward to. And I'll also be previewing the new big blockbuster of next weekend. I think Project Hail Mary. But when it comes time to sit down, write the script, so I will see whether or not Project Hail Mary actually comes out next week yet, and I can't remember. See you next time.